Hi guys. So I wanted to do a video yesterday for you guys to tell you about this news with the debt in our country that will definitely affect us all, affect every last one of us if something isn't done. However, I didn't tell you guys, but I got into a fender bender, a car accident last weekend on Saturday evening, and the weather changed here. It got cold, and I was in so much pain yesterday. I could barely move, you guys. I'm feeling a little better today, but this is so important. I'm like, let me just, bring this to you all. So, this is according to Federal News Network. You can find it on CNN, Fox, everyone's talking about it, but this is going to affect us all. So Yellen is the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, and she notified Congress on Friday that the U.S. is projected to reach its debt limit on Thursday and will then resort to extraordinary measures to avoid default. In a letter to House and Senate leaders, Yellen said her actions will buy time until Congress can pass legislation that will either raise the nation's 31.4 trillion borrowing authority or suspend it again for a period of time. Those measures include divesting some payments, such as contributions to federal employees' retirement plans, in order to provide some headroom to make other payments that are deemed essential, including those for Social Security and debt instruments. So, if you're a federal employee, they may suspend. You know how on some jobs you put 200 a week in your retirement and your company matches that? Well, they're talking about suspending their contributions to some federal employees' retirement plans. So hopefully they're talking about the big wigs and not us regular folk. Well, I'm not a federal employee, but you know what I mean. And then Social Security, hopefully they don't mess with our parents and grandparents, Social Security that we all pay into, right? This is a sad situation. You guys, we are sending billions of dollars abroad for a war, but somehow we have to worry here about our savings and our grandparents and parents if they're going to be able to pay their bills and buy food. Failure to meet the government's obligations would cause irreparable harm to the U.S. economy, the livelihoods of all Americans, and global financial stability, she said. Indeed, in the past, even threats that the U.S. government might fail to meet its obligations have caused real harms, including the only credit rating downgrade in the history of our nation in 2011. So failure to meet this government obligation would cause irreparable harm to the U.S. economy, which then, you guys, would cause harm to every last one of us. The livelihoods of all Americans, she said it, the livelihoods of all Americans would be harmed. And global financial stability would be harmed, you guys. So this is serious. Yellen said that while Treasury can't estimate how long the extraordinary measures will allow the U.S. to continue to pay the government's obligations, it is unlikely that cash and extraordinary measures will be exhausted before early June. Treasury first used these measures in 1985 and has used them at least 16 times since, according to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, a fiscal watchdog. But the extraordinary measures only work for so long and would probably run out and put the U.S. at risk of default. Yellen said it is critical that Congress act in a timely manner to increase or suspend the debt limit. So either they're going to have to increase the limit or suspend it, which what? It means that, okay, you can just borrow whatever because the limit is suspended. The debate over raising the debt ceiling will almost certainly result in a political shutdown between newly empowered GOP lawmakers who now control the House and President Joe Biden and Democrats who had enjoyed one-party control of Washington for the past 2 years. So you mean to tell me that the two parties would go head to head as usual, right? And shut the government down and not worry about the citizens because they both want to control what the hell is going on? I mean, when are they going to put us first? In an interview this week on Fox News Channel, the new House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, stopped short of saying House Republicans would go so far as to refuse to pass the annual spending bills needed to fund the government, as happened more than a decade ago during an earlier debt ceiling shutdown in Congress. We're going to look at every single dollar spent, he said. The White House has insisted that it won't allow the nation's credit to be held captive to the demands of newly empowered GOP lawmakers. But any effort to compromise with House Republicans could force Biden to bend on his own priorities, whether that's money for the IRS to ensure that wealthier Americans pay what they owe, or domestic programs for children and the poor. Past forecasts suggest a default could instantly bury the country in a deep recession, right at a moment of slowing global growth as the U.S. and much of the world face high inflation because of the pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So you guys, we're all up the creek without a paddle if they don't come to an agreement on this. And we are already seeing prices so high. I've never, like I said, I am 48 years old, and I have never, ever seen eggs. A dozen of eggs cost $6.99, $7, okay, for eggs. I've never seen that in my life. My mother has never seen eggs at this price. Remember when we used to get like a family pack of chicken legs or wings or even chicken breasts? A family pack of chicken breasts was like $9. All of those except the legs. Chicken breasts, you're going to pay $22 for a family pack. Chicken wings, $15, $19. And remember when ramen was like 25 cents for the cup and maybe 15 cents for the little baggies that you cook on the stove? No more. For a cup of ramen, it's now 48 to 50 cents, depending on where you get them. And I have a video up where it shows that the Walmart that I went to 2 weeks in a row, there was barely anything there, any ramen of any type. So, you know, I know college students and some people depend on ramen to make it to the next paycheck. Well, that, I'm sorry to say, it's going to cost you. It won't be a cheap meal anymore. So, I mean, rice has gone up. All the things that you could use to like buff up a meal for the next paycheck, you're going to pay double. And it's just sad to say that it seems like nothing is going to get better. You guys, I have been prepping I have 2 freezers filled with different, types of chicken breasts and wings and legs. I don't like thighs, so I really only get the thighs to cook for my little boy, my little dog. Yes, I cook for him. Beef, steaks when they go on sale, roasts, and we don't eat pork, but I do. Well, I guess we eat pork because sometimes I fry pork chops, but ground beef, ground chicken, ground turkey, everything you can name, smoked sausages. I have so many different types of food in my 2 freezers, and they are packed. And as I use things, I pull from the bottom up every few months. And, I watch for sales. And whenever something goes down enough, I go and I buy. And that is how I've come to my, you know, I'm okay. Those 2 freezers, the food in those freezers will last me about over a year, I guess. Um, and also, I mean, I am stocked up on dry goods, ramen, canned meats like canned chicken breast, tuna, sardines, all sorts of things. Um, Protein packed meats and vegetables. I have all sorts of vegetables. I have dry beans. I have about 100 pounds of rice, you know? So I started stocking up a little over a year ago. Like I said, during Corona, I started stocking up, and I had to turn my extra bedroom into a storage room. That is how much I have, not only on food, but on medication, because now we can barely find cold medicine and cough drops. But I have a stock room filled with medication for stomach ache, headache, everything you could possibly think of over the counter. I have been stocking up on since Corona hit. But it's not too late, y'all, because we can do couponing. There are sales. You go walk through Walgreens and you will find things marked down 90%. Check your Walgreens out. That's how I found a lot of medication marked down 90% off. And it doesn't have to be a name brand. Sometimes Dollar Tree, I mean, you can find things for $1.25. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. Just try to start stocking up, people, please, because I just have a bad feeling things are going to get so much worse. And we have to be careful around, because people are robbing and stealing. It is a bad time in this country, in this world. And I hope that you guys, no matter how small you have to start off, start now. You don't want to be hungry in these streets. All right, you guys, let me know what you think of this in the comments. And have you started stocking up? Yes or no? It's not too late if you haven't. Something is better than nothing. All right, you guys. See you in the comments.